yarny friends. Are you ready for Tuesday? Are you ready for a yarn review? Well, I'm going to be reviewing and giving you my honest opinion of the new Yarnspirations by Caron Cakes. This one is the Colorama Ogo Tangle-Free Quick Start yarn. We're going to talk about this today, where I'm going to show you how to undo it and everything. But I am going to give you my honest opinion, and we're going to decide, well, you're going to decide if it's a oh go or an oh no. All right? And we'll do that in just a second. I want to give everybody ample opportunity to get in here. And so before we get started with our yarn review, let's go ahead and clink in. And I hope everybody's got themselves a nice big old cup of coffee or tea or Dr. Pepper. And if it's evening, you might want a glass of wine. Whatever you're drinking is fine with me. Just watch my videos. Alrighty, I'm going to set my coffee aside because I want to talk about this yarn. All right, so like I said, this is the Caron Colorama. This particular one is a bulky number 5 yarn, and I ordered 2 of them. And I felt it was very important to go over this because I'm sure you've all watched a lot of videos and saw a lot of pictures talking about this new yarn. And the reality is it's not new yarn, it's a new way that it's wound. All right? And I'm going to show you this chart first, just so that you can get an idea of exactly what their thoughts are on this. Let's go to this other camera. Oh, that's upside down. All right, so here is the chart. I'm going to hold it up a little closer. It says the yarn overview, they're going to be making it, or they are making it and making it available in Bernat blanket, which is a bulky 6. They're going to make it in a Caron Colorama, which is what I bought. That's the bulky 5. Okay, they're going to make it in Big Donut, which is worsted weight number 4, but you can see it has 9.9 ounces and 502 yards. And then they're going to make it in Redheart Super Saver. And it's got 15 total colors, 8 solids, and 7 striping. And this one has 12 in total, 4 solid, 8 self-striping. And you can find this chart on the Yarnspirations.com website if you want to see it. It's a little bit blurry because I blew it up. I also posted it on the blog that I always do. So it's there as well. And so these are the ones that they're going to be doing. And I'm a little concerned because I'm worried that they're not going to make these in the regulars as well, for those that maybe don't care for the Ogo. But I'm hoping they'll still make those available. But I wanted to show you this particular chart. All right, so I'm going to leave it on this camera for now, and I'm going to scoot over here. I'm going to move the chart up here out of the way. And so this is what you have. I'm going to just do this one. I'll set that aside. And so the packaging is made so that it has a hole here, goes through the back, for retail stores to be able to hang it up on a peg. And it's supposed to be flat. Mine isn't, but that's okay since I'm not a retailer. So they can stack them up. I think it would be better if they laid them this way so you could see all the colors. But that's just my opinion. And we know it's just my opinion. Now, something I wanted to address is that a lot of people are concerned because it has a plastic piece on the inside. But something that a lot of people don't know is that acrylic yarn is basically plastic. That's why when you put something hot on it, it burns. Okay, so keep that in mind if you're complaining about that plastic string that's inside. All yarn that is acrylic or an acrylic blend has some plastic in it, and it's made out of crude oil. All right, so let's go ahead and open it up. All right, so we're going to pull this off like this. Okay, so there's the donut. And on the bottom here is your information. So you're going to want to keep this particular piece. It's a bulky 5. It tells you what knitting needles and what crochet hook they recommend. Here's all your washing instructions. It's 100% acrylic, and we just talked about acrylic. And you get 6.4 ounces or 108 grams, 228 yards. And it's made in Turkey. That's interesting to know. And also, Spin Right is the manufacturer. So that's kind of interesting to know as well. You also, which is kind of neat, have this, and you can scan it with your phone, and it takes you to some free patterns on the Yarnspirations site, which is kind of cool. All right, now you turn it over, and it's going to show you how to open your donut. This is very sticky, by the way. I keep getting my arm stuck on it. All right, so let's set that over there. And I'm going to grab my scissors, and I just have to tell you about these gorgeous sparkly scissors. I bought a new pair. These are Fiskars or Fiskars, however you want to say that, because my pair with the orange handle were over 20 years old and we're getting a little bit dull. I asked my husband if he could sharpen them. He goes, just buy another pair. So I did. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to come here and pull this apart, and you'll see that plastic piece I was talking about. And then you want to very carefully clip that. And then you just pull that out. All right, so that's what was holding the donut together. All right, so now you have two options. You can pull from the center, or you can pull from the outside. And they recommend that you pull from the outside. And that's what's going to make it unravel without tangling, and you can get started really quick on your project. The other thing that they've been talking about is if you want to separate the colors, you can do that. And I'm going to show you here with this blue and white one. You can separate the colors. You just pull it out. You clip it. I'm not going to clip it because I don't want mine separated. But you can clip it, and then you can just start on this color. And that works really nice if they're not exactly the same where you ended. You know, maybe you ended and it was more over here, but you want to get it lined up even with your stripes. And that's a really neat thing if you like that. One of the things that I found that I didn't care for was that it's a really difficult thing to take with you if you're going to put it in your project bag. Okay, so if you're going to put it in your project bag, you're going to have to use a really big plastic bag. Your large size probably. I use them when I separate my meats from the butcher. You're going to separate those or put them together, but put it in a plastic zip bag and leave the corner open where you can pull the string out. Okay, so I think that this is okay. The other thing that I don't care for is that it's a little bit more in price. Now, I have found out through various people that you're going to be able to find them at Walmart's, at Joann's, and at Michael's, and of course online. Okay, now my question is this. I'm going to move this out of the way and bring in this other yarn. This is Caron Cakes. Okay, all of them you can either pull from the center or the outside. Super quick start, right? Put it in a yarn bowl or container, and I keep this one. You see I got a ball of yarn in there already from our last project. I keep it in here, and I also have one bowl that I made with t-shirt yarn that I take it along with me also. All right, and you just start pulling. If you need to separate the colors, you can easily do that. Super simple, right? And so this is my question. You know, the new Ogo yarns are patent pending, and nobody else is going to be making them like this, okay? The packaging is interesting. I don't mind, you know, because I understand that it may have a plastic string in it, but all yarn is made with the same process as plastic from crude oil. And that's fine too. I think it's a little bulky to take along with you. But in my opinion, why spend all that money and all that time and effort when you've got a product right here that does the same thing? It starts quick. It doesn't ravel if you pull it from the center, or on the outside if you put it in a bowl or a container. All right. And so my thought is this: if you think it's really cool, Bag O' Day, she's made the comment that it was a little bit gimmicky, and I agree with her. I think it is just a little bit gimmicky, but if you're into that, that's fine. You know, it's not that it's wrong or it's not going to work, because it does work and it is interesting. And I am going to put together a pattern. I've got a pattern I want to do that's a hooded cowl, and that's the reason that I bought this particular color, because it can be for the guys or the girls. And that's why I went ahead and got the blues, and I really like it. Oh, and this color is called Overboard, probably because it looks like the ocean and the splashes. I like it. I like the color a lot. But to be honest, I probably won't be buying these very much unless I just have to have a certain type of color. And yes, the price point. And that's another thing. If you go online to Yarnspirations, there's a sale right now, I think, at yarnspirations.com. But if you go to Joann's, these were $8.99 a piece. And if you buy the yarn in the regular, I believe it was $6.99. And is it worth it to me if you get frustrated with tangles? And is it worth it to you to buy it? Maybe, but not me. I like good yarn, and I love the Caron yarns, and I love Yarnspiration yarns, and I do like Redheart Super Saver. Although lately I've been buying a lot of the Michaels yarn because I just really like it because it's just so soft. And so that's something you have to decide whether you're going to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I personally am going to give it a side thumb. Because it's still great yarn, but I just think it is, like Crystal at Bag O' Day said, it's just a little bit gimmicky. But, you know, it's kind of something that you can decide for yourself. I wouldn't exactly say it's an oh no. I think I'm going to say it's a oh maybe. All right, and so I wanted to show you how it works, everything. And one of the comments I read a lot on some of the other blogs and YouTube channels was they didn't like that there was a piece of plastic in there. But you have to understand that all yarn that is acrylic is made in a similar fashion as plastic. And that's why when you burn it, get it really hot, it melts if it's acrylic. Okay? And so it's pretty much made the same as plastic. All right. The process, the way it's wound and spun and things, makes it softer or not softer. And so anyway, Tammy says she's obsessed with Yarn Bee yarn. I do like the Yarn Bee yarn. The truth of the matter is there really isn't any actual yarn that I don't like. Some are more difficult to work with. Some are more difficult to stitch with, but I still love them. And, you know, there's just been, I can't even think of any yarn that I said, ugh, I hate that yarn, I'm never going to use it again. Because I think some of them all have a purpose, you know, for different projects and things. And so that is my opinion. You can form your own. And like I said, I found out that it's going to be at Walmart's, Joann's. Joann's already has them. That's where I got these. Michael's, I did not see them at Michael's, but I am going by there today. I'm going to try to find some fun buttons, and I'll talk about that in just a second. And then also online. And my suggestion to you is go to Joann's and use your coupons, or look for the free shipping coupons from Yarnspirations, or, you know, when they have things on sale. And they do have, I believe these are on sale right now. When they did the big push out for them, they had them on sale. So go ahead and check that out for yourself. But like I said, it's not an oh no, it's not an oh go, it's just sort of an oh maybe. And I'm just going to give it a side thumb. Alrighty, so that is my review on this yarn. And I will have a pattern for I'm hoping to be able to get it done before Thanksgiving. My sister's coming to visit, and I'm very excited about that because she has never been to visit us here at this house. And her son's coming up to do some hiking up in the mountains. And so we're going to get to just a few days over Labor Day weekends. I've been planning for that. And I've got a lot of stuff going on with some brand new patterns. And so I'm hoping to get this pattern ready for you. It's going to be a real simple hooded cowl because this is a chunky number 5 yarn. Okay. All right. That's all we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what we did, what's new this week at Posh Pooch Designs. So we did these little pumpkin scrubbies, and I got a lot of questions about can they be coasters. And the thing is, you're making two and you're putting them together, and they have all the ridges. If you want a coaster, I have a pumpkin coaster pattern out there. Just go search for it. It's there. Okay? And these are scrubbies. They're fun to have around. They're fun to give as gifts. And they're also fun to hang up and use them, you know, just to hang up. What do you call those things? Buntings. To make some buntings. You could mix it with some of the little witches' hats, little ghosts. I do have a little ghost coaster coming out in a couple weeks. I'm hoping to do it next week. And, you know, I always tell you these things, but it really just depends on how quickly the tests come back and the patterns get finalized. But anyway, that's something we did this week. And again, there's a written pattern and a video for you. Okay, then we did what's behind me here. This is my Briar Rose shawl. I'm going to click over to my other camera here. This is a shawl pattern that I wrote probably 5 or 6 years ago. It's a really fun, basic granny stitch style shawl. And this one will fit about a medium-sized person, but you can continue on with as many rows as you want to. And if you're someone who likes one completely wrapped around them, then you can continue to make it bigger. And you'll notice there in the center, it has a little rose, and I'm calling that the Briar Rose. And I just attached a pin that I already had. That is a really easy pattern. It stitches up really fast. And the star of this, when I updated it, I chose this pattern. It's called Ferris Wheel from Lion Brand. And the color is called Wild Violets. And I don't have my notes with me, but I think you need about 4 ounces. And I can't remember how many yards that worked out to, but you can see that on the video. It tells you, and it's a medium weight number 4. Of course, you can use any medium weight number 4 yarn for this project. I just totally loved this one. It's called Wild Violets. I think it's perfect for the Briar Rose shawl. And it's an updated pattern. We put this out a few years ago. And I had some requests just to update it. And so I thought, well, I'll just go ahead. It's a good time of year. I like to take a shawl like this with me when I go to church or out to eat. My favorite place for a special dinner is Saltgrass. I don't know if you have that steakhouse there, but I love their salmon. But it's always freezing cold in there, even in the summer. And that's okay. They're in the kitchen cooking, so they're hot. So I just bring my shawl with me. I can toss it over my shoulders, and I'm good. And that's why I updated this pattern, because I wanted one made out of this yarn, and this one's mine, okay? Most of the time I give my stuff away, but lately I've been keeping a few of my things. Okay, Patty says, how do I find these patterns you are talking about? They're on my YouTube channel and on my Posh Pooch Designs page at the top, right under where it says Posh Pooch Designs in the picture, there's a link that'll take you right to my YouTube channel. Okay? Or you can just go to YouTube and search Sara Sach and you'll find my channel. And there's a bunch of playlists there, and you can look through all my videos and find all of them. The written pattern for all of them will be in that description box. There'll be a link underneath that description box, and you just click it, and it'll take you to my blog where the written pattern is with lots of pictures. I've been trying to go back and fill in with a lot of pictures on some of my older older videos and patterns, so you'll have those. All right, now last Friday, for our Friday Fun Day, we did the frame magnets that can also be Christmas ornaments or tags. Okay, and these are so fun to make. I just had so much fun making these. I'm going to make some more. I need to get one more sheet of magnetic stuff so that I can do my grandkids' pictures. I'm hoping that I'll get some new school pictures this year. I think it's super fun. It's a great way to take a picture that you cherish. And it won't ruin the picture because you can scan it in your computer and print it off and use the print picture for these also. And the other thing is, I think these would be super cool hanging from your mirror in your car. Now, I don't hang very many things on there because my husband says you're not supposed to because it weights it down. But I think it would be fun to hang one of those in there with a picture of me and Maximo. Isn't that a cute picture? I just love that. Okay, now, before I let you go, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do this week for Friday Fun Day. I'm really not going to tell you. I'm just going to tell you what you need. All right, so you're going to need your favorite coffee mug. And it can be one that's not your favorite, but you maybe just don't like what's on it, because we're going to cover it. Okay? You're going to need 2 or 3 fun buttons, and that's what I was talking about a little earlier. I'm going to run over to Hobby Lobby and see if I can find some little coffee cup buttons for this project. If not, I'll find some other ones. Y'all know I have tons of buttons. I have tons of buttons. So it's kind of like I have all the yarn I need, but not the color I need. Well, that's how these buttons are. I have tons of buttons, but not any coffee cup buttons, okay? Alrighty, and then you just need your I hook or H hook. I don't even remember which hook you need. And just some leftover yarn from your yarn stash. We're just going to make something fun that you can keep for yourself, or you can make it for a gift for someone else. Really super simple thing. And one thing about the Friday Fun Day things that we make and the patterns, what I've been doing is I don't want to have the pattern on a blog for the Friday Fun thing. And so what I'm doing is I'm writing out the pattern, and then in the description box underneath the video on YouTube for the Friday Fun, I'm posting that pattern. So you can go in and copy and paste that. Or another thing is if I don't have a pattern for something, you can turn on your closed caption, and you can get it that way as well. And that's another thing I just wanted to touch on again this week is it kind of goes in spurts, and I'll get usually it's on the same video. It'll say you're too loud, you're too quiet, you're too close, you're too far away, you're too fast, you're too slow. And so I really want to encourage you when you're on YouTube to utilize the functions that you can use on YouTube. When you're looking for the description box, underneath the video it'll say see more, or there'll be a little arrow depending on what device you're on. On my iPad it says see more. On my phone it's an arrow. And you just click that and it opens up that description box for links and lots of things like that and information. Okay? If your video is too loud, check the volume on your device. Because for the weirdest thing, every time my iPad has an update, for some reason it completely turns off my sound. And I have to go back in and tell it to turn it back on. I don't know why it does that. But, you know, and it makes a difference if you're on a laptop, a computer, an iPad, a phone. The volume's going to be different. So check the volume on your device. You can turn it up or turn it down, but you can also turn it up or turn it down on YouTube itself. Okay, if I'm going too fast in your opinion, you can pause it and come back, but you also have the opportunity to slow a video down. It'll make me sound funny, and my hands may blur a little because it's just the way it is, but you can slow it down. But the best thing to do is if it's going too fast, because a lot of times I'll do 20 rows of single crochet. Nobody wants to see me do 20 rows of single crochet. So I'll tell you, repeat this particular row for 20 rows. Okay? Pause it. Do your 20 rows and then click back in, and I'll say, I've completed my 20 rows. Okay? So that's part of doing a YouTube video, because it would be 3.5, 4 hours long if I did every single row like that on every single project. Okay, so utilize that pause button and come back to it. Utilize that thing, the button, or I don't know what you call it exactly, but that you can slow it down. Utilize your volume buttons and that description box. There's tons of things on YouTube that you can do. You can also turn on your own closed captioning. You can do that if you want to. I do try never to put words at the bottom so that when the closed captioning is turned on, you can see it. Because if not, the words will be right over the words. And so I try to put it at the top or the side or certain things like that. Okay? So just when you're over there, just know there's a lot of really good things that you can do to help yourself as well as, you know, help you with the pattern. Okay, and like I said, I always try to either post the pattern or post a link to the pattern if you're someone who really appreciates a written pattern. Because some people like the video, some people like a written pattern, some people like pictures, and some people like to print off the pattern and use it and watch the video. And so I want you to have the best crochet experience that you can have. And so I try to utilize all those things, and I try to do that for everyone, you know, for all my patterns. Okay. So having said all of that, I'm going to let you go. And again, check out the Ogo for yourself. You can decide for yourself if it's an up or a down, but I'm going to tell you, it's a side one for me. All right, I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful week, and I hope it's not too hot because it is hot here. Bye-bye now.